Thanks for joining us again. It's now time for us to see what the papers are reporting this morning. The Nation newspaper says insurance firms set for merger or acquisition to raise capital base. New law streamlines sector to play bigger role in $1 trillion economy target. The Guardian newspaper concerns over new customs levy, weak imports as car ownership turns luxury. Importers take advantage of additional charge of price gouging. Next is This Nigeria. 2027, INEC warns parties to halt early campaigns. And Daily Trust, Southern candidate Jonathan Orubi. That's polar questions there. The Platform Times, dreaded terrorist Bello Turji surrenders weapons, frees 32 captives in Zamfara peace deal. And the Punch newspaper, nationwide alert. Federal government warns of 5-day flooding in 19 states. Rainfall, flooding forecast for Tuesday to Saturday. Floods hits Ogun, Gombe. 2025 flooding kills 191 and then 94 missing. So we've got brief papers to talk about, but you know, they're going to be very much of a mouthful for us to chew on. But let's start off with the Nation newspaper. This is talking about insurance firms set for merger, acquisition to raise capital base. And then the new law will streamline sector to play bigger role in $1 trillion economy targets. You know, the insurance firms have been there. Some people utilize it to their own benefit. Others do not even have the information about what is the essence of insurance? It's only God that watches the money. Exactly.
But that's like a very top insurance account.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, a guaranteed one.
Oh, yes. The average Nigerian doesn't understand the insurance business. And it's very funny that in Nigeria, the banks own the insurance companies. Outside Nigerians, the insurance companies own the banks, you know, so there's something something not sitting right as far as insurance business in Nigeria is. But this law sign says that stringent capital requirements to ensure financial soundness of operations. These are the things that are contained in it. Enforcement of compulsory insurance policies to enhance consumer protection, digitization, and so on. Everything you read about this shows that the average Nigerian insurance company does not, for now, have the kind of capital to do insurance business the way this law says they should do. So the next thing is for stronger insurance companies to bring in smaller insurance companies. There will be a lot of mergers. There will be a lot of bid to raise more money so insurance companies can do their business as the law requires. It's a good thing. It strengthens the insurance business, and I'm sure that more Nigerians will be educated about the importance and the advantages of getting insured.
And I think that is very, very key, because when people do not have the proper education when it comes to insurance, because if you look at the signing of the Nigerian insurance industry and NIRA 2025 bill by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu talking about the $1 trillion economy. So there is this act which will increase minimum capital for life insurance businesses from 2 billion naira to 10 billion naira, non-life insurance firms from 3 billion naira to 15 billion naira, and reinsurance companies from 10 billion naira to 35 billion naira. Accessing it is another thing.
Absolutely, and that is one thing it's also the act is going to address, talking about claims, getting your claims, because one thing that we have struggled with in this country when it comes to your insurance is that when you talk about claims, registering and getting, they allow you, so
paying is not a problem.
But when you want to, when you have claims to make, it's a struggle.
I guess you've had an experience.
Yes, yes, I have twice. That's been the challenge, and that began in 2020. We saw after what happened, SARS and all of that, several destruction of properties, vehicles and all. A lot of insurance companies had to pay back claims. So they now made it stringent for a number of persons to get their claims afterwards, because they did not expect what happened at the time. And so since then, it's been a struggle. I am happy that this act is going to address that aspect, and also digitization, which is critical. When you're using technology, it will be easy for a number of persons to access the needed information, access anything they need to do
even follow the money
regarding their insurance as it is. So I am hoping that insurance will be better approached with this act moving forward, and that we will not have to struggle, Joe.
Talking about that struggle, I've said it a lot of times, most Nigerians, we do not believe in insurance. Honestly speaking, you speak to people about insurance and their mind is just like, I beg, they don't even give me the money when I want it. But at the end of the day, like when you're insured, it's very, very good because so many, like you said, although you didn't get it, but maybe at some point you got it.
It was a struggle.
But you got it. But you got it.
It's a
So at the end of the day,
need.
you still got it. The struggle is what we need to, remove from it. But I think that we also need to educate people on insurance because, and they said something again. A lot of insurance companies have packed up. I'm not going to mention names, but we've seen them pack. I know insurance companies, about 3 or 4 that have packed up. We need to merge them together. They cannot do it all alone because sometimes it's a hurdle to get the money because maybe they don't have the money to even give out. So if we're able to merge them together, then they're able to stand strong and not get more money to give people because also I cannot insure my car and then something happens and you're not giving the money or making me struggle. I'll take you to court at the end of the day because you are supposed to do that.
Especially
So
when
my
you're
question,
paying
or the
your
question
premiums.
that's even coming to my head is why are you struggling? If you can insure me in the first place, then you should have the capital base. What did you do with those monies? What did you do with those monies? If you want to start a business, you must count the cost. So what is it that what happened to that monies that you have been getting from people that you are now struggling to pay back claims?
Do you know how many insurance companies have packed up?
I know that they packed up. I'm saying, why start a business you know you may not be able to sustain? Because you need the capital base. So if you do not have it, then there's a problem. You should have started in the first
Probably
place.
the person that is going to get his property insured, feels that there might be disasters. Of course, that's why you're doing it. But the insurance companies feel, no, there should be no disasters.
As an insurance company, you cannot even feel that way.
At the end of the day, I am also seeing an increase in the cost of insuring anything. Moving forward.
We see what happens, in the coming days. Now let's move on to the Guardian newspaper. Concerns over new customs levy. Weak import as car ownership turns luxury. Importers take advantage of additional charge for price gouging. So I think there is a 4% evaluation on some of the levies that has to be paid by importers, from the customs side. And then some are now feeling people won't be able to buy, lower cars, talking about the Toyota Browns and all of that. So importers are now turning to luxury cars. So if you do not have enough money, because if you really want to buy a Nigerian made, you have to spend like 5 million to
or more. What?
I said about 5 million to 10 million naira to buy Nigerian used cars, let alone imported cars.
And my question is, when will we stop paying? When owning a car is not a luxury anymore.
It's no longer a luxury.
It's not a luxury anymore. So
no. It was a necessity. Now it's a luxury.
Now it's a luxury.
That's what you meant to say.
It's not supposed to be a luxury.
Right.
All right. It's not supposed to be because it's so necessary, especially when you work in urban centers in Nigeria, like Lagos, for example. The transport system in Lagos
it's
not friendly at all. So if you are in the corporate world in Lagos, you need a car. And then there's a 4% levy on this thing. When will we stop paying? That's my question. Right now, for you to buy a regular Toyota Corolla, you were talking about 9 million?
10 million.
It's 11 point something. Cars that before now you could buy.
You're talking about 2025 or 2026 or 7.
No, I'm talking about the 2006 model.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
2007
model. Sorry. Not even 2027.
Right.
and so
2006, 2007. Who knows? Maybe by then it's 15 million.
So it's so expensive. It's not a sweet story to talk about so early in the morning on this show.
I understand.
But Veronica, do you know the thing that you were saying the corporate people...
She can feel better.
I was saying the corporate people need to have cars. But Etoma, I'm asking you, how many people that are working in corporate can afford to even buy a car in Nigeria? That's the question.
I don't know why
even
we
the
don't even have...
use, let's even say Nigerian use, how many people can afford to buy the Nigerian use?
The issue is that for those that are importing these vehicles, because I have a sense of what it is about, getting those vehicles there, wherever you're importing from, is not as expensive.
It's not.
It is when you now get it to our borders that you get all these levies that increases the price. That is why most of these importers do that, and they know that if I import something like the vehicle you've been speaking about, I wouldn't make as much, because if I tell you the price, you will not. So they'd rather import luxury vehicles.
So who will buy that one then?
Who will pay?
The big guys.
I'm talking for corporate. I'm talking for my corporate people.
No. What we're talking about luxury cars, we're not
for
talking about
Nigerian use. Pay for have a payment plan. That's what is happening right now. It's unfortunate that this is the situation that we found ourselves. Why are we paying so much levies on these kinds of vehicles if we want to make life easy for Nigerians? That is the challenge. I think that government needs to look into that aspect. Because if you recall, even Dangote had said that lifting fuel from his refinery is more expensive than when you are talking about importing. That's why a lot of the importers decided, or marketers decided to go outside the country to import. We need to look at how to make business quite conducive, or the environment conducive for people doing business in the country.
And we need to make it easy. We also need to make it easy for Nigerians, especially the youths that are working in corporates. When you talk about luxury, how many youths want to get luxury can be paying? You use all your salary and pay at the end of the day. If your salary can even pay half of it. So I just think we need to make it better for Nigerians. And we keep on saying the government. When we are put in positions, what are we doing to help our fellow Nigerians? Honestly.
But that's government policy. It's a government policy.
And it's so sad. It's so sad that people already have stock. I mean, cars in their stock already increasing the money because they feel, okay, this is what is coming, and we are increasing what we already have. That's a challenge.
They need to business to make profit. One,
because they'll think of
because
what
if I want to go back
to
and buy, what is the amount that I know I'll get it?
All right, let's move on to this Nigeria. This is politics. INEC wants parties to halt early campaigns. Okay, let's take it one at a time. I know that, was it on Monday that we talked about, INEC sitting on one side and people are making campaigns and all of that. That's against the provisions of, or the guidelines of the INEC, well, let's say provisions anyway. So do you think they're just waking up one way or the other? Or it's just too little too late?
It's not too little too late. Initially it didn't look as if it was full-blown campaigns when politicians started talking here and there, but it's getting really intense. And I believe that INEC coming out now to say that is the right time, so to say. But you see, when that bug bites, it's difficult to hold yourself down until after elections. I hope that what they have said, the politicians are going to take heed, they have listened, and they are going to take heed, which I doubt seriously.
Veronica, let's move on to the Daily Trust newspaper. Southern candidates, it's now Jonathan or Obi. So the PDP is looking to quote Jonathan or Obi. They're saying that, okay, good luck, Jonathan. Statutorily, we will only spend one term if eventually decides to throw in the gauntlet. But Obi, who is also saying that, now I will only do one year, but they know that they can't trust that because it might turn to, they're asking me to do another term. So how do you see this? PDP, a dying party, so to speak, according to reviews, saying that we need either Jonathan or Obi, but I think Jonathan carries more weight. But Patience Jonathan has already said, we are supporting the Ashiwajus.
It's interesting how this is playing out, that this is the situation that the PDP has found itself. Jonathan, I was shocked when I saw that headline saying, former President Goodluck Jonathan is who they are looking to field as the presidential candidate. Peter Obi, we already know, is either with Labour Party, he's still with Labour Party as we speak. I do not know, I'm not sure, because I heard a PDP person saying they are not reaching out to Peter Obi anytime soon, and I'm wondering why his name is on the papers then, if that is what the party is considering. He's still also dancing around the ADC. Still looking at where he wants to settle, because it seems he's still floating and trying to make his decision. Perhaps he's still consulting with certain persons to know where he would be at the end of the day. But the earlier he makes his decision, the better. It is unfortunate that the PDP has found itself in this position as we speak, where it is struggling to make its footprint on the sands of time. 2027 has a lot at stake for most of these parties, and they want to ensure that they make a statement. How the PDP will go about this? Jonathan, does he still have that clout, that influence across the regions, because you need to get the votes across the region. Does he still have that? Can they market him in such a way that he is acceptable to Nigerians?
That's right.
What will he be offering to Nigerians when he returns to power? Does he have that? Is he even willing to do that right now? He's been out of power for quite a while. I don't think that Jonathan is that person that the PDP can, will, or should be looking at as we speak.
Especially when he had been defeated in 2015. Exactly. He would want to be roundly defeated again if it probably comes into...
I was just going to go to that, and to what Veronica said as well. I've heard a lot of stuff that says, Peter Obi is never going back to PDP. So I was confused to see his name there as well. And right now we know that he's ADC Labour. He has not even picked, a side. But I don't think Jonathan is the best person. I was thinking of, social media was saying Sheyi Makinde, so I was surprised why his name. I was surprised why his name didn't come up. But the thing is that he's been there before. People will ask questions, what did he do? What are his ideologies? What can he do now?
That's right.
I think they need a stronger, candidate.
We need to race on. Because of our time, because I was going to take this to you. Dreaded terrorist Biloturji surrenders weapons, frees 32 captives in Zamfara peace deal. So we're having the overall head, one way or the other in Zamfara. Biloturji now laying down some of his arms, saying that we will allow people to go to farms and all of that. Do you feel that the end to kidnapping, insecurity is beginning to happen?
Of course not, because why does this man have so much power? Who is he to make peace deals? Somebody that should be arrested at the end of the day. When I see this particular man, the fact that he has not been arrested even still surprises me, because right now you're coming out to make peace deals. Like, you are a criminal in the first place. So now are we working under what you say? So I've released some things that... I feel like this man needs to be arrested, because there's nothing to be excited about this particular...
We're talking about Platform Times, and then if you look at it, she has actually raised a very cogent question. But the thing there is kinetic and non-kinetic approach, which they are approaching. The latter is what they are deploying, which it means, okay, fine, we've tried to get you, we're not able to get you, but we need you to lay down your arms, and we are doing that.
So what makes you feel he's laid down all his arms?
And he's releasing 34 hostages, and his boys are killing 17.
Make it make sense.
Come on, it just doesn't make any sense. In fact, somebody was on TV that says that they have a government official that goes into the bush to negotiate with these people, and why?
Means we know where they are.
Exactly.
We know where they are.
Why can't they be arrested?
Is it so difficult to arrest these people and bring them to justice? Because people's lives have been lost, properties destroyed, everything. People cannot go to farms. We are having food security issues. And so I think that more needs to be done, because other persons, these are the reasons why people do not trust government. The way it handles situations like this. I know there's kinetic and not kinetic, but the issue at stake is lives and property.
That's right. All right.
Does that really matter to us?
Fine question. Now, the last paper here, the Punch newspaper, we talked about it yesterday, but it's okay that we also revisit it. The federal government warning of 5-day flooding in 19 states, and the fact that there are 19 states, if states are not mentioned, doesn't mean that it won't get to you. It says something that is very significant. These drainages are interlinked. So from one state to the other, imagine opening dam in the north, and it's coming down south.
This is not dam open.
No, I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that. No, because it's going to happen.
So let's situate things. This is climate change.
No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about interlinking of.
I get your point. Because some persons might think that.
No, there's not dam. There's not dam. So quickly, just your thoughts. How we should approach this very quickly. We started wrong already. We didn't do the needful when we had the opportunity. Weather gave us the opportunity to do it. Now we just have to keep sounding the education that, look, we have to be individually responsible because our activities have caused a lot of flooding. We've just talked about Mokwa and the rest. 19 states. I hope that our state is not part of it.
No, we are already seeing it.
20 seconds.
We saw the rains here on Monday. We saw the flooding in Lagos.
Ikorodu
and the state government is advising those the low-lying areas, Ikorodu, Lekki, to move upland. And I'm wondering, what are the structures government have put in place for these people to move into? Because if I knock on your door, Ibrahim, would you open it to me?
Are you signposting that flood is going to? Don't worry, you're welcome.
But I hope this will teach Nigerians a lesson. You know, when it's not raining, you cannot be flooding, your gutters, because at the end of the day, this is what will happen. Lekki is flooded, Agongi is flooded, so it's already in Lagos. And
unfortunately, Veronica, it might be that I'll be the one to come over to you.
Veronica cooks very well. so I'll be the one to
Because I was already having that conversation with my wife yesterday. That's about it for the newspapers up for review. Join us after the break as we explore ways to create sustainable support systems for women as the world commemorates World Breastfeeding Week. Just stay with us. We'll be right back.